if you were Ole Miss, would you have let Lane Kiffin continue to coach or not? Brian Hartline, I believe, is still calling plays for Ohio State. He's still going to be, I don't know how much he'll be calling plays, but he's still going to be the offensive coordinator. So even though that, Brian Hartline's got a lot going on, and even though, he is leaving, he's still going to be with the team. But that was kind of the big thing here with Ole Miss, right? It was their best, best season in school history, or, best season at least in 60 years or so. And, now they have to do it without a head coach. And it seems like Lane Kiffin wanted to come back and coach. At least that's what the reporting was. But Ole Miss said no.
The athletic director at Ole Miss actually countered and said he doesn't believe everything Lane Kiffin has made public is 100% accurate. So we don't know who said what, whose plans were what.
Yeah.
If I was in that position, I'm not going to let that coach, who, by the way, just went to a bitter rival, I'm not going to let him continue to coach at the school, only for the fact that he now has, however much time to potentially poach your players, your coaching staff.
At first, I don't blame him for taking this job whatsoever. I think everybody would agree it is definitely a step up over Ole Miss. But what I did question is, how much of a step up is it from Ole Miss? Because, what is the goal? What is the goal at LSU, right? To win a national championship, to compete for the playoffs every single year, be a top ranked team. Well, that's what he was at Ole Miss, right? I mean, you were ranked in the top 5. You were pretty much a shoe-in for the playoffs this year. You had a really good chance, in my opinion, to win a national championship. I mean, were you going to? I probably wouldn't pick Ole Miss over, even Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State just yet. But the point is, you were there and you had a chance. So it's interesting. Yeah, you take the slight pay raise. Yeah, you go to a place where you might have more resources, but I think Ole Miss has more resources than people think. So, well, I think he made the right move for himself. I just find it interesting. I feel like he's kind of going backwards and he's kind of resetting his clock, because it took him a little bit to build what he did at Ole Miss, and it's just like you were there, right? Like you almost reached, the top, and now you're going over to LSU. You're just kind of restarting.
Like, you have so many resources and so many things available. If you somehow don't do what you're supposed to, we're going to look at you differently. The example would be Ryan Day being at Ohio State, and they have 9-3 seasons or 8-4 seasons. Ohio State has lost more than 2 games only once in the last 20 years. So we know what that program is. They're the model of consistency, and if we date that back to 2000, they've actually lost 3 or more games on 2 different occasions, and one of those was Tattoo Gate. So I think LSU is, obviously they had a down year. They've had a few down years, but they've got a offensive guru who's going to be able to spark that side of the ball that has struggled and go from there. So I like that hire. I really like the Summerall hire as well. He's a proven winner.